Alright, live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, AKTDH. I am Alexander.
Golden Loon.
You viewer, you, thank you so much for coming in and watching. Today is, of course, Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, June 27th, 2026. The show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. This is our thumbnail right here.
Oh, let me see. Ooh.
Yeah, look at all that stuff.
Huh.
Pretty cool.
Oh, I like that TV in there.
Yeah, the title is Color TV, Korean War, Atari, and more. So, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? We have a 37-page document to go through, and there's a decent amount of things that are marked, so let's try to get this in the hour. Starting us off in the year 363, Jovian was proclaimed Roman Emperor following the death of Emperor Julian in the previous night. Whoa. 404, year not found, Ariscus of Taurus was installed as puppet Archbishop of Constantinople after the expulsion of John Chrysostom, prompting people of the city to worship outside the city's walls in protest. So outside the city walls in protest, yeah. That's a very interesting protest. You know, prayer and all that stuff used to be incredibly major, it seems. 1358, Republic of Dubrovnik was founded. Okay. 5042, Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo set sail from the Mexican port of Navidad on the first European voyage to explore the west coast of North America for the Spanish Empire. Ah.
The port of Christmas?
The port of, wait, what? Where
Navidad.
Oh, okay. The port of Navidad. Is that what Navidad is? Christmas? Yeah, I guess Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas, yeah. 5052, Cathedral Church of Charcas, established in Charcas, Spanish Empire. Later La Plata, now Sucre in Bolivia. And I believe, yeah, right there. Look at there. That's, that's awesome. Awesome looking church, yeah. And let's...
Well restored. Boy, they're taking care of that.
Oh, yeah. Like, here's the interior. Like, it reminds me a lot of...
Ooh, look at that.
Obviously a lot more regal, but from the chapel and some of the spaces inside the mission.
Oh yeah,
and everything.
Yeah,
like it's always all this grandiose, beautiful stuff. But I mean, it's great architecture. It's incredibly significant to society. It's culture. So, 5056. The 13 Stratford martyrs were burned at the stake near London for their Protestant beliefs. Yikes. 1598, disastrous Dutch expedition to find new spice routes and harass Spanish territories left Rotterdam. Only one of the 5 ships with just 36 crew ever returned. Yikes. 1652, New Amsterdam, now New York City, enacted the first speed limit law in North America.
Oh.
I wonder what it was, though. Like, what was the limit? Like 12 miles per hour or something? Like, small? 1743, War of Austrian Succession. King George II of Britain personally led Allied troops to victory in the Battle of Deningen in Bavaria. This was the last time a British monarch commanded troops in the field. So after this...
they held back.
Yep. And probably a wise decision. If the king was over here in the American colonies, he probably would have gotten whacked at one point or another. 1746, Flora MacDonald helped Bonnie Prince Charlie, disguised as Betty Burke, an Irish maid, evade capture by landing him on the Isle of Skye. So some of this Bonnie Prince Charlie stuff happening here. 1778, Liberty Bell returned home to Philadelphia after the British departure. 1789, French Revolution, King Louis XVI ordered the nobility and clergy in the Estates General to join the Third Estate, by then called the National Assembly. Moving on up into the 1800s, 1833, Prudence Crandall, a white woman, was arrested for conducting an academy for black females at Canterbury, Connecticut. Yikes.
I wonder what that means, an academy.
Well, teaching blacks, educating them.
Oh, educating
them.
Yeah, okay.
It
sounds
was,
like she was teaching them something.
Yeah, she was educating them.
Educating them, okay.
Yeah. Probably
would have said educating would have
probably
been a better
teaching
word.
them how to read and write or something. So, 1847, New York and Boston were linked by telegraph wires. It's pretty cool. Now they can talk. 10 years later, 1857, the Biblinar massacre of 120 British women and children following the siege of Cawnpore. Yikes. 1857 as well, James Donnelly became engaged in a drunken brawl with Patrick Farrell, who suffered a fatal blow to the head. Farrell died 2 days later, which made James Donnelly a wanted man and drew the Donnelly family into the notorious feud. Yikes. Bless you. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. 1860, first running of the Queen's Plate at Toronto's Carlton Track, North America's oldest continuously running race course.
Ah,
A race course, yeah. Now hold on a second. Core sample Indy 500. Let's see. Here it is. Check this out. This is a core sample of the Indianapolis 500. Right here is the actual thing.
oh,
And this all goes all the way down to the days of when they were brick. They just kept paving over and over and over and over.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. So like right here they have 1909, 2-inch layer of sand placed on top of the existing damaged surface, and then 909 again, 61, 76, 88,
Yeah.
95, 2002, and then 2004. Like it's fascinating.
It is.
We're getting like geological. We're leaving a geological footprint.
Yeah.
Like in the Indy 500 at least. 1860, first running of the Queen's Plate at Toronto's Carlton Track. Okay, we got that one. 1863, no. 1867, Bank of California opened its doors. Okay. 1876, Dave Force of the Philadelphia Athletics was the first National League player to get 6 hits in a 9-inning MLB baseball game in a 14-13 win over the White Stockings at 23rd Street grounds in Chicago, Illinois. 1876 as well, Democratic Party elected New York Governor Samuel Tilden. Actually, no, I don't need to read that. It's not marked correctly. 1890, Canadian boxer George Dixon became the first black world champion when he stopped English bantamweight champion Edwin Nunk Wallace in 18 rounds in London, England. What the heck is Nunk? That's a weird word.
What was it?
Nunk. N-U-N-C.
That's his name, isn't it?
No, it's quotations. That's his nickname.
Well, nickname. No.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. So, his name is Edwin Nunk Wallace.
Yeah,
So,
nickname.
yeah.
I don't know what it means, but
What were you going to say?
someone gave it to him and stuck. I
Ah.
don't even remember what I was going to say. Something. I'd have to go roll back to the article. Let me see.
You know, boxing and all that stuff. I know Granddad was a boxer.
Yeah, in college. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. No.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. 1893, great stock crash from New York Stock Exchange. 1 year after that, we have Stadian Annie Londonderry, Annie Kopchowski, set out from Boston to become the first woman to bicycle around the world, completing the journey September of 1895, the next year. Awesome. That's wicked
Still
awesome.
want to know how they get across the water because everything's not connected.
Well, the paddle. There's paddle, like they have paddle wheels. You know?
Pedaling fast.
Yeah. 1895, inaugural run of the Baltimore and Ohio Railway's Royal Blue from Washington, D.C. to New York City. The first U.S. passenger train to use electric locomotives. Awesome. I looked this up trying to find an image search, and I couldn't find anything. Like, it showed this. Maybe this was it. I mean, kind of looks like it. That's Baltimore and Ohio right there, B&O. Maybe that was it. Although I can't really tell. It says a Mercury train. This doesn't say anything about a Mercury train. This says an electric locomotive, and electric locomotives don't have a smokestack. So, but this looks like an electric thing, maybe. So, I'm not sure. It doesn't show me. That's a shame. 1898, Canadian U.S. adventurer Joshua Slocum arrived in Newport, Rhode Island, completing the first solo circumnavigation of the globe. And I image searched this trying to find the map, but it doesn't. Well, yeah, it kind of shows me here. If it'll load. Yeah, oh wow, okay, open image. This is the map right here. Check this out. So, it looks like. And he wrote Newport, Rhode Island. Okay, so let's just start here and right there in Newport, or that's Boston or whatever. Right there, and then Azores. So it looks like he went around.
Boy, that's he had to go around that.
Why did he do this whole, like, tie the knot thing? That's weird.
What are you talking about?
Well, like, he started here, and he went here, and then went down, but it kept going straight
And then he went
South
up
America.
and then came over on this side.
But why didn't he hug Africa?
Well, he's going over the bottom. He circumnavigated the world.
But he was in Africa.
Well, he's trying to. I don't know.
But-
You're saying
but-
why didn't he go direct?
Yeah, like, why did he go in a straight line by crossing his path? Like, because he has to go all the way across the Atlantic, go this way,
Yeah.
and then he comes over here, and it looks like he goes all the way down to Melbourne, and then does a double back, and then goes up this way,
Yeah.
and then across, and then
Well, I don't understand
past
this route.
Africa.
You're right.
and then he's right there. There's Cape Town, and he's crossing the path he already crossed.
Yeah.
Goes up South America, and then, I mean, that's
the only way to get back. You have to cross your path.
I guess maybe. Maybe it's the currents. So that is a good point. So
Although he could have circumvented the other way and come up over the north.
I don't think he had an icebreaker.
No.
So.
Well, you wouldn't need it necessarily, but it'd be cold as hell up there.
Yeah. 1905, Industrial Workers of the World, the IWW, was established. Not that one, this one. At the Continental Congress of the Working Class in Chicago, Illinois. Members included representatives of the Socialist Labor Party, Socialist Trades, and Labor Alliance, Socialist Party of America, Western Federation of Miners, and the International Working People's Association. That is a lot of red flags screaming in my ear. Fascism, Nazism, communism, all that stuff. It was an industrial union. Thought change would come through a general strike, hoping the workers would take over. Marxist organization. There you go.
Yeah.
Communism, straight up.
Yeah.
So, we need to seize the means of production, comrade. 1905, Russian sailors mutinied aboard the battleship Potemkin and sailed for Odessa. So the Russian battleship. Yeah, why are they mutinying? That's interesting. 1906, the IEC, International Electrotechnical Commission, was established in London with Lord Kelvin as president to standardize electrical units and terms. And Kelvin, like of the temperature Kelvin, or anything like that. So, look at there. This is all the different symbols: diodes, bipolar transistor. Okay, well, somebody has to have a standardized thing, so there's an industry, uniform understanding. Yeah. 1914, U.S. signed the Treaty of Commerce with Ethiopia. I'm going to do a surface level scratch of this article because that is interesting. What does... Okay, it's probably going to require some digging. So, well, according to AI, it says enhancing trade and political ties and recognizing Ethiopia's sovereignty during a period of African colonization. But but trading what? Like what are we trading them? What are they selling that we're buying over here?
Yeah. Treaty of Commerce is a good thing.
Maybe they're not, but it's just open if they ever do.
I don't know what Ethiopia has.
I know.
What we got. They need about everything.
1914, the Illinois Monument was dedicated at Shetland Hill in what is now the Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park. And I'm going to image search this really quick, but this is it right here. This is the best image I can find. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
So, but here you go. Like, it's up on this little plateau thing, paved. It looks all nice. These stairs leading up to it. It's a cool little monument.
No graffiti.
Thing. Yeah, thank goodness for that. So, moving on up to 1915, 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius, Fort Yukon, Alaska, state record.
Whoa.
100 Yukon, Alaska.
Whoa.
Wow. The Dutch SDAP demonstrated against conscription, and that's the Nazis right there. So, 1917, Eleftherios Venizelos took over as Prime Minister of Greece and severed relations with the Central Powers, bringing Greece outside with the Allies in World War I, or on the side.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry. I've never seen the word on the side before.
No.
It's weird. 1918, Canadian hospital ship HS Landovery Castle sunk by German U-boat off the Southern Ireland. Only 24 of 258 people on board survive. The U-boat officers were later charged with war crimes. Yeah, good. They should be. Although, was it a war crime to sink a hospital ship back then? Because the Treaty of Versailles really started all of that. But I'm not sure. There's always been rules of war and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it used to be you don't shoot the officers. We ended that.
Well, the biggie in our time, in more modern time, was chemical warfare.
True. Yeah. 1923, maybe, but the whole Red Cross thing. Like in Europe, by World War II, if you shoot a medic, you're gonna get in trouble, or whatever. Now Japan didn't abide by that, and they actually hunted the medics down. Like if you had any indication that you're a medic, you're the first one getting hit.
You're targeted.
Yeah. For that exact reason, they were ruthless.
Yeah, they were pretty awful.
But what were you gonna say?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I keep doing
That's
that to you. So. 1922, Newbery Medal first presented for kids literature, Hendrik van Loon. Hey, another Loon there. Yeah. Any relation?
No.
Wow. 23, Captain Lowell H. Smith and Lieutenant John P. Richter performed the first ever aerial refueling in a DH-4B biplane. Now, I almost used actually that image. I didn't realize they were using this image on the website. However, I have a better image in my opinion.
Oh, yes.
You can see the wing of the photographing plane, and
Yeah.
they're even a little bit closer.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Like, wow. And
The
they're
other
not
one
even,
was fine, but this is better.
Oh, this one, it looks like they're not hooked up yet or something. Like the hose is extended, but they're not connected yet. So, whereas this other one, if I image search this really quick.
Well, they brought it over and then they're going to grab it, I guess.
Right here, it looks like they're connected right here.
Yeah.
So, that's still awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. They're definitely connected with that.
Yeah.
Moving on up to 1924, the Johar Ringapore Causeway opened after 5 years of construction, providing a land connection for roads and rail vehicles traveling between Johor and Singapore. Look at that. Just a bridge, just sudden land there. You're cutting off that as a waterway to be useful, which is unfortunate, but maybe it wasn't useful at all. Here's a more modern image of it. That's really cool. So. 27, Prime Minister of Japan, Tanaka Gishi, convened an 11-day conference to discuss Japan's strategy in China. The Tanaka Memorial, a forged plan for world domination, was later claimed to be a secret report leaked from this conference. Yeah.
So that sounds like the foundation for World War II.
Essentially what they wanted to do eventually to us. There is a video, actually. Hold on a second.
I mean, they started in China, right? Or at least
in that area, probably China. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
exactly.
either.
Try for
smaller
don't
potatoes
touch
initially.
my boats. Oh, there we go. Trying to find here. Is that it? No, that's not it. But that's the guy, I think. Why can't? Well, I'm gonna taskbar that for later. There's a video that explains actually like the Industrial Revolution of Japan and how it started just attacking and eating everybody around it like an uncontrollable plague, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to show that to you, and I'll find it later after the show, and I'll send it to you, and I'd like to watch it again later because this was released years ago at like around the 4th of July. It was supposed to be the 4th of July special by this one YouTuber or whatever. So anyway, 1928, the Rovaniemi Township Decree was promulgated, as a result of which Rovaniemi seceded from the old rural municipality as its own market town on January 1st, 1929. And we have the first color television, speaking of 1929, demonstration was performed by Bell Laboratories in New York City.
You know, we talked about the first color TV not too awfully long.
Well, probably
I was shocked because it was so early.
Well, probably because it was like working on it, or maybe it was this, maybe it was a broadcast or something. I think it was a broadcast.
It was a broadcast going to color.
And it was like, wasn't it 32, 33 or something?
Sure.
But this is 29.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a color image of this, so that way you can actually see.
This is a demonstration.
Yes.
So it's not even available yet.
Yes.
Necessarily, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is, see, now, I'm not sure if they had this on TV, but if they're doing this to demonstrate the color, nobody has a color TV to see the color.
Well, that's why it's a demonstration. They built one.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, are they demonstrating this on TV?
On a TV?
No, for people to watch on their TV at home.
No.
Like
no,
part of like a news program or something.
No, they're not.
Okay. Anyway, in 1929, President Paul von Hindenburg refused to pay German debt of World War I. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. 34, Federal Savings and Loan Association created. Yikes. 36, Watchfulness Committee formed in Amsterdam. What the heck is that? Sounds like a communist thing. Watchfulness Committee. Anslag Ophet Amsterdam's... I don't know what I'm reading. This is all words of whatever the heck this is. The context provided does not mention the formation of a Watchfulness Committee in Amsterdam. It literally does. 1939, Brooklyn Dodgers tied Boston Bees 2-2 in 23 innings, called on account of darkness after 5 hours and 15 minutes. That is 3 7-inning stretches. 7-14-21. 1940, USSR returned to the Gregorian calendar, using Sunday as a rest day after 6 years using a Russian 6-day calendar. We covered this a little bit yesterday. Bombs time! 1941, Bialystok, Poland fell to Germany. So during World War II, German troops captured the city of Bialystok during Operation Barbarossa. That's the invasion of the Soviet Union. We also have Nazi manifests against the Jews in Amsterdam. That's what they do.
Yep.
Romanian authorities launched one of the most violent pogroms in Jewish history on the city of Lasty, resulting in the murder of at least 13,266 Jews. Yikes. 42, FBI, that's a terrible mom's time there. 42.
See, that's rough ones because it's around World War I.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. 42, FBI captured 8 Nazi saboteurs from a sub off New York's Long Island. Excellent. Moving on to 1944. Before we do so, though, I'm just going to do a really quick check to see if there's any comments. Nope. Okay. Cherbourg, France was liberated by Allies. I think that's out in Normandy. Cherbourg, it sounds familiar. Also during World War II, Mogoeng was the first place in Burma to be liberated from the Japanese by British Chindits, supported by the Chinese. Excellent. Getting some liberation happening in the Pacific. 45, Foundation of 1940-45 was established. What does that mean? Like, history of the United Nations. Okay. Oh, so like this is when they're switching it from the League of Nations to the United Nations, I guess, maybe. That's interesting. They have a GIF, a playing video, like for the thumbnail here.
Yeah.
That's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
Loons time, 1946. In the Canadian Citizenship Act, the Parliament of Canada established a definition of Canadian citizenship. But what is it?
Well, that's a good question. I know that one Canadian citizen explained it to you and what it is.
Well, that was
Somewhat,
was in context of maybe me being
I
eligible to
understand
become a citizen. It might not be this actually, but let's see here. The Act defined who were Canadian citizens, separated and independent from the status of the British subject, and repealed earlier Canadian legislation relating to Canadian nationals and citizens and subclasses of British subject status. Okay, so this gives the whole thing. If you want to read more about this, like this link and all the links that we collect throughout the show, they will be in the underbar description below after the live stream as usual. We already have a lot of cool links down there, though, if you want to check those out. But we got to move on up to 1947. 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 36.8 degrees Celsius in De Blit, Netherlands. That's warm for the Netherlands. And by the way, it was 100 degrees in Germany, according to Creative.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just
warm
like,
for them.
That's hot. 49, Captain Video and his Video Rangers debuted on Dumont TV as the first TV sci-fi series. Is that familiar with you by any chance? I mean, 49,
Captain,
you're only 3 years old.
Yeah, no, I don't remember it.
Captain Video. Like, what
no,
the?
I don't remember it.
Oh, it's so bizarre. Like, what is with these outfits, dude? Like, Captain Video with his future ray gun thing. 1950, North Korean troops reached Seoul, causing the UN to ask member states to aid South Korea. Harry Truman ordered the U.S. Air Force and Navy into the Korean conflict. The United States decided to send troops to fight the Korean War. South Africa heeded United Nations call to assist Korea. And the U.S. also sent 35 military advisors to South Vietnam.
Yeah, most people don't know the North was getting close to consuming the entire peninsula.
Yes, well...
So we intervened.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they really did, like, get a lot down in there. So, 54, CIA-sponsored rebels overthrew a democratically elected government of Guatemala and forced President Jacobo Arbenz to resign. So, first nuclear power station opened in 54 as well, in Ovenusk near Moscow, Russia. And I have a picture of this. Check that out. Like, it doesn't look like any any crazy building, but, like, the smokestacks and everything. That's the first nuclear power station, believe it or not. This is a cool photo right here. So, 54 as well. Hungary defeated Brazil 4-2 in the Battle of Bern as FIFA World Cup quarterfinals descended into an all-out brawl with 3 players sent off, and the fighting continued in dressing rooms after the final whistle. Wow. I sure hope nothing like that happens. We don't need that crap. 55, Julius La Rosa Show debuted on CBS TV. Do you remember that at all by any chance?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to unmark that. Whoops, did not mean to do that. I meant to do this. We also have first automobile seatbelt legislation was enacted in Illinois. 56, MLB Cleveland Indians.
That's early, 55.
Yeah. In 1956, MLB Cleveland Indians trailing Baltimore Orioles 9-1 came back to win 12-11 in 11 innings. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. 365 more days later, Hurricane Audrey made landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border, killing over 400 people. Primary source says 526, mainly in and around Cameron, Louisiana. So affecting Louisiana and Texas there. 57 as well, the British Medical Research Council published a report suggesting a direct link between smoking and lung cancer.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Hello.
Yeah. 58, Billy Pierce's perfect game bid broken with 2 outs in ninth. Yikes, that sucks.
Yeah.
58 as well, Harry Burrell flew Kansas City KC 135 from New York to London in record time of 5 hours, 27 minutes, 42.8 seconds. That's a heck of a flight there. Was he like... Well, no, he wasn't doing the Concorde thing. That only takes about 3 hours. So this was conventional jet. That's a heck of a fast jet right there.
Yeah.
39, Leonard Bernstein, Stephen Sondheim, and Jerome Roberts' musical West Side Story closed at Winter Garden Theater in New York City after 734 performances and 2 Tony Award wins. Yeah, West Side Story, a pretty big production there.
Yep.
1960, British Somaliland became part of Somalia. And the chlorophyll A synthesized in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Excellent. Joseph Kasavubu was sworn in as the first president of the Republic of Congo after being elected by the 2 chambers of parliament. Excellent. An oil pipeline from Rotterdam Rugby opened. Right here.
Yeah.
Rugby.
What does that mean? Oil pipeline?
An oil pipeline from
Somewhere
Rotterdam.
open, yeah, okay.
I know Rotterdam.
Oh, okay, Rotterdam.
So Rotterdam hyphen Rugerbride, wherever the hell Rugerbride is. So it's a pipeline between those 2
locations. I didn't understand Rotterdam when you said it.
Okay.
Yep.
61, Ghana imposed a total ban on exports to South Africa and Southwest Africa. 62, Dutch soccer clubs Rapid JC and Roda Sports merged to form Roda JC Kirkrad. KNVB Cup winners of 1996, 97, and 99 and 2000. Pretty cool. In South Africa, the General Law Amendment Act, Sabotage Act, number 76 commenced, increasing the state's presidential power, the state's president's power to declare organizations unlawful and to add further restrictions to banning orders. Yeah, more apartheid crap. Ross Perot founded electronic data systems. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ross Perot, was he like going to be? Was he running for president one time?
He did run for president. He was very wealthy, obviously, and he started a third party. And he did pretty well. I think it's the best third party ever has done.
Nice. Yeah, I'm recognizing the name because we've spoken about him a couple of times. 1963, MLB Philadelphia Phillies Johnny Callison hit for the cycle, but teammate center fielder Tony Gonzalez's error ended his record 205 consecutive errorless games. That sucks. USAF in 63 as well. Major Robert A. Rushworth, flying an X-15 rocket-powered aircraft, reached an altitude of 285,000 feet, 86,868 meters. That's up there. 1967, world's first ATM installed by Barclays Bank in Enfield, London. And there it is right there. Believe it or not, I don't even know how to operate that. It's so primitive. I can see the buttons. There's instructions written here and such. Well, you're going to say something?
No.
Yeah. Right here, though, they do have a plaque next to, more modern ATM right there. Whoops. Hold on a second. The plaque says right here, Enfield Town Branch, the world's first cash machine, was installed here on June 27th, 67. So, of course, the set's obviously, been replaced, but it's still an ATM, that little area. It's pretty cool. 68, Ludwig Vakulik published Manifest of 2,000 Words in Prague. Never heard of that. Sounds interesting. 69, Denver Bot Festival opened, 50,010. Frank Zappa, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and Jimi Hendrix headline. Jimi Hendrix, that is.
Yeah,
others
some great groups.
Yeah. Other performers included Three Dog Night, Tim Buckley, Big Mama Thornton, Johnny Winter, Joe Crocker, and Poco.
Oh, Poco here.
We have Honduras, El Salvador broke diplomatic relations due to a soccer match. I remember hearing about this, a legitimate war happened out of a football match or something somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually got guns and it ended with some kind of armistice. I think the UN got involved. I don't know. It turned brutal. In 1970, Festival Express opened in Toronto, Canada. The Grateful Dead, the band, Janis Joplin, Flying Burrito Brothers, Buddy Guy, Great Speckled Bird, and Delaney and Bonnie and Friends cross Canada together. Delaney and Bonnie and Friends cross Canada together by train for 5 shows in 3 cities.
Boy, that's some more great groups.
Yeah. Following the arrest of Bernadette Delvin, intense riots erupted in Derry and Belfast, leading to a prolonged gun battle between Irish Republicans and Loyalists. 71, Bill Graham's New York rock venue, Fillmore East, closed down to be succeeded by Fillmore West in San Francisco.
Yeah.
71 as well, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, closed the John Golden Theater in New York City after 31 performances.
Ah.
Yeah. 72, legendary video game and home computer Atari Inc. was founded by Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney in Sunnyvale, California. I didn't know they were founded out here.
Yeah.
Of all places. Good old Pong and
yeah, absolutely.
all that stuff. Look at all those games.
It's kind of the birth of
the video game industry right there.
Yeah, the video game industry, but wouldn't that be the tech industry too? Wouldn't that be the birth of that?
Well, I mean, like, without tech, there wouldn't be video games. So
well, true.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, I'm thinking like there's Sony was Japan.
Was Microsoft founded then?
Microsoft by now, I don't know. 1972. Hold on a sec. I don't think so. Here we go. One second. When was Microsoft founded?
I believe it should have been
75.
Okay, just
so this is
So that is leading into the tech industry.
Well, like,
of course, they were up in Washington.
There was already IBM, and there was already military industrial.
Well, yeah,
things.
there had to be some.
Microsoft is later on, but like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The big tech companies that came along.
Yeah.
Came along after the game boom. But you're right. There's IBM's been around forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
They go back into the 50s, I believe.
Oh, even before that.
When was IBM?
They were founded as the compulating something tabulating thing company.
Well, just IBM.
When was IBM founded? IBM Computing Tabulating Recording Company, 1911 to 1924.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then they became this tech stuff has been around for a long time, and they were founded somewhere else. Oh, New York, Armonk, New York, specifically. So, anyway,
1911 wouldn't be out here.
No. 1973, Live and Let Die, the 8th James Bond film, first to star Roger Moore, also starring Jane Seymour, first released in the U.S. John Dean told Watergate Committee about Nixon's enemies list. That sounds like an eyebrow raiser right there. Uruguayan President John Maria Broadberry dissolved Parliament and headed a coup d'etat, beginning of the civic military dictatorship. Yeah. 74, U.S. TV variety program The Flip Wilson Show. Last aired on NBC TV after 4 seasons, winning 2 Emmys. Did you ever?
Yeah, Flip Wilson. Absolutely. Okay. Variety show.
Okay. 76, Air France, an A300B Airbus was hijacked from Athens, arrived at Entebbe, Uganda. 4 hijackers, members of the Popular Front of the Liberation of Palestine and Badr Meinhof gang of Germany. So it was Air France Flight 139, Tel Aviv to Athens to Paris, was hijacked en route to Paris by the PFLP, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, and redirected to Entebbe in Uganda. That's terrifying. In South Africa, the national president of the Black People's Convention, Kenneth Haliku Rashidi, declared that riots in Soweto have led to a new era of political consensus. Consciousness? Is that what that word is? Consciousness, I believe. 77, 5-4 Supreme Court decision allowed lawyers to advertise. Yeah, they got to,
Why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 77, Djibouti, Afars, and ISIS claimed independence from France. Well, to answer your question, why not? Because we don't have anything saying they can or they can't, we have to have something saying that we can or we can't. Like, our society is so dependent on whatever the written word is. This is why, like, I sorry to bring this up again, but, you look at the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the amendments and all that stuff, how everything seems to be broad and vague in certain ways. Well, because it's meant to be. Because now we have all these amendments. Oh, these people get this, these people get that. And all of a sudden, now, if you want to have equality, you have to specify, like, individually what each different person gets. That they all get the same thing, but you have to write it down. You can't just say, "Oh, everyone gets equality," and then because it says everyone gets equality. All men created equal, but then we have the emancipation stuff, like they tried to bring in the 3/5 compromise with all this stuff. That was terrible and everything. But now they have blacks get equal rights, yada yada. Women get suffrage. So now with all these technicalities, we're getting away from the vagueness and having specific things. And without specific things for every single person, we can start using these technicalities to deprive rights and privileges from certain people over others. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scares the hell out of me. 77, we got that one. Djibouti, Afars and ISIS claimed independence from France. Yeah, we got that one. France granted independence to Djibouti.
Yep.
Willie McCovery smashed 2 home runs in an inning for a second time. The first, I guess, was April 12th, 73. And this is 77, so that would make sense. His constitution for the Federation of Earth was adopted by the second session of the World Constituent Assembly held at Innsbruck, Austria. What the hell is this crap? Federation of Earth? What the freaking nuts. 78, U.S. Saturn 1, the first oceanographic satellite launched into polar orbit. So that's going above and down, not around. Geosynchronous, well, actually, that's something else. Heliocentric, I think, is going around.
I think you're right.
So 78, U.S. Sat 1, we got that one. 79, heavyweight Muhammad Ali confirmed that his third retirement is final, and it was not ultimately, so apparently we can't trust this guy. Supreme Court ruled employers may use quotas to help minorities. That sounds like it could be manipulated in a bad way. 80, first female state police graduated in New Jersey, cool. Dodgers Jerry Roos no-hit San Francisco Giants 8-0. That's a heck of a spread there. 81, Betty Davis by Kim Carnes returned to the number 1 slots. It came back. That's very unusual.
Yeah.
We also have Iranian cleric Ali Khamenei narrowly escaped an assassination attempt by the Muhammadi-e-Khalaq when a bomb concealed in a tape recorder exploded on a desk in front of him. I wonder if that's if this is what inspired the Israelis to do the whole pager thing or the beeper. What was it?
Oh yeah.
Recently, like a year or so ago.
Yeah.
No. 81.
I think it was cell phones.
Maybe burner phones. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was their beepers or pagers too. I'm not sure because they were using intentionally outdated tech that can't be tracked. So 81, Cambodia adopted its constitution. And the Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party issued its resolution on certain questions in the history of our party since the founding of the People's Republic of China. That is one hell of a mouthy title right there. That's a title. Resolution on certain questions in the history of our party since the founding of the People's Republic of China. Wow. Laying the blame for the Cultural Revolution on Mao Zedong. Yeah, they always, it's so funny. Like, they always follow them until they don't. Like they did the same thing with Stalin. Like they got rid of all the stuff, all the Stalin.
Well, now believe that there should be an uprising every so often, and I may be wrong, but because I'm kind of agreeing with blaming Mao on this, and he instituted this revolution, and it almost overthrew him.
Oh wow! Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, we have something similar. The Tree of Liberty needs to be watered with the blood of patriots and tyrants alike from time to time. Not verbatim, but that's more or less the quote there. 83, highest price paid for a painting by a living artist at £960,200, Joan Miro. All right, well, you go, Joan. That's awesome. Right here? Or there's so many different ones. I don't know which one. Got it. So... anyway, 84, fire destroyed a set in A View to Kill. That sounds like one of the James Bond movies right there. A View to Kill?
Yeah.
Late night's first tower drop. What the heck does that mean?
I have no idea.
Late night's first tower drop. Collapse of the World Trade Center. No. This is well before that. That's weird. Huh.
I don't know what that means.
I guess David Letterman. It says tower drop collection on Letterman. Oh, so I guess they had like some series where they did a tower drop on late night with David Letterman.
It must be some
Like,
bit or something,
yeah.
I guess.
84, Supreme Court ended NCAA monopoly in college football telecasts. 84 as well.
You're right, late night with David Letterman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all right. With David Letterman was some bit. Okay. We have the Emmy 11th Daytime Award presentation. Susan Loki lost for the 5th time. Yeah, this poor lady. This primary source here used to list all the times she lost, and then like at some point I'm just like, oh, can you leave this lady alone? You know, it's like, and then now they take it down, and I have all of it, so I'm bringing it back. 85, first hotel strike in New York City. And 85 as well, Route 66, Chicago to Santa Monica was decommissioned. That's unfortunate. 86 as well, Canadian tennis player Ann White shocked Wimbledon by wearing a white one-piece lycra bodysuit in first-round match against Pam Shiva, wearing a regular outfit after rain break. So, she put on a normal outfit. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, that's going to be very warm. Like, you know, you're going to slow yourself down with heat. So, you know, whatever. 86, Ibrahim Babangida and his regime in Nigeria launched the Structural Adjustment Program to restructure the Nigerian economy via deregulation and privatization with the support of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. They're going to get screwed. In a referendum, Irish upheld their ban on divorce. You know, if that's what they want, it's fine. You know, maybe we do need laws prohibiting us from doing things like that. I mean, like, I would love to leave it up to people's, you know, individual, you know, discretion to have these choices, but by giving humanity certain freedoms, it seems that people just take that and run with it on a mass, and all of a sudden things like marriage and love and just basic honoring what you have to say becomes like not as often anymore. Like everybody everybody turns to shit, and nobody actually works to do things the right way anymore. Yeah. You know, we always have an excuse now. You know, there's always some cop out that we rely on to validate our actions. No, you know, like at some point maybe we do need laws to force us to act the way that we think we should act. You know, I don't know. What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say the biggest thing on that is we made it easier and easier to get a divorce.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. 86, Jim Henson's fantasy film Labyrinth, written by Terry Jones and starring David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly, was released in the U.S. We also have Robert Thompson of the San Francisco Giants set a record caught stealing 4 times in one game.
Oh, man. Not a good night for him.
Yikes. South African journalist and founder of the New Nation newspaper, Zwelithini Sisulu, was abducted. He was released 721 days later on December 2nd, 1988. That's 2 years. 365, you know, that's 700 something. That's well, you know, 1986 to 1988. That's 2 years, you know?
Yeah.
U.S. informed New Zealand it will no longer defend New Zealand against attack due to its nuclear-free policy. 86 as well, the World Court ruled U.S. aid to Nicaraguan Contras was illegal. Yeah, it was. God, you know, we got our hand in the cookie jar so bad with that. 87, AO's time. Can I get done in 17 minutes? Let's see. The Living Daylights.
Not even close.
The Living Daylights, 15th James Bond film, first film to star Timothy Dalton, premiered in London.
Never heard of that.
Neither have I. In South Africa, the Afrikaans Protestant Church, a breakaway faction of Dutch Reformed Church, was formed. 88, Mike Tyson knocks out Michael Spinks in 91 seconds in Atlantic City, earning $67 million. Wow. 88, Villa Tunari massacre. Bolivian anti-narcotics police killed 9 to 12 and injured over 100 protesting cocoa-growing peasants. Yikes. 1990, Salman Rushdie, condemned to death by Iran, contributed $8,600 to help earthquake victims in the country. How nice of him. 92, 93, New York Met pitcher Anthony Young lost record 24 straight game. That's not a record you want to have. 94, we have 118 degrees or 47.8 Celsius in Lakewood, New Mexico, a state record. That's hot.
Wow.
Yikes.
118 degrees, yeah.
Aerosmith was the first major band to let fans download a full new track for free from the internet. That's awesome.
No
That's
kidding.
awesome. That is just profoundly awesome. New York Daily News increased price to 50 cents. Okay. Spalding Gary's one-man show, Grey's Anatomy, closed at Beaumont Theater, New York City after 8 performances. Okay. Members of the yesteryear cult released sarin gas in Matsumoto, Japan. 7 people were killed and 660 others were injured. I remember hearing about that.
Pretty neat, nasty.
Yeah, it is. 95, Mason City, Iowa's TV news personality Jody Heisinger disappeared. Did they reappear?
Well, no.
They didn't?
No, they disappeared. Where'd they go? I
don't know.
Kidnapped or whatever.
I don't know.
Can't be a good thing.
But we've had articles that have said that they've turned up, that they're still missing.
True.
That they're alive or dead. We have had others, that just leaves it ambiguous like this. But that's what I'm asking. I'm asking the audience if anybody wants to go and look, and let us know in the comment section if Jody Heisinger was found alive, preferably. That'd be nice. 95. Space Shuttle Atlantis launched on STS-71, the first space shuttle mission to dock with the Russian space station Mir.
Yeah.
Nice.
I remember that.
Yeah. William Alford, an engineer for rival radio station WMMS, was sentenced to 10 days in jail and fined $1,000 for cutting the feed during Howard Stern's live broadcast from Cleveland. Wow, what an asshole. That's not cool. 97, this is no longer on either source, so it might be chronologically incorrect, but I have the Glastonbury Festival in Pelton, England here. The Prodigy and Radiohead headline. Other performers included Smashing Pumpkins, Ray Daves, Van Morrison, Sting, Beck, Fish, and Nancy Griffith. Alright. 98, Kuala Lumpur International Airport opened in Malaysia. 99, the Chemical Brothers went #1 on the UK album chart with Surrender, their second #1 album. Okay. 99, Tony Hawk was the first skateboarder to land a 900, a 2.5 revolution aerial spin at the X Games in San Francisco, California. Mm-hmm. Now let's actually take a look at this here really quick. But right here I have Betty Davis Eyes. I'm just gonna throw this here. Betty Davis Eyes. If anybody wants to listen to this song, I'm gonna put it in the underbar section really quick. But yeah, let's see here. Hold on, I'm gonna get I don't want shorts. I want a regular video. It's not gonna let me choose. Okay, well I'm not gonna watch a short. So oh well. Anyway, 2001, Pope John Paul II beatified 28 Ukrainian Greek Catholics, including 27 martyrs, mostly killed by the Soviet secret police in Lviv, Western Ukraine, during his first visit to the country. Excellent. We also have International Court of Justice found against the United States in the Legrand case. The Legrand case. So I've never heard of this Legrand case.
No,
what is this? Just going to look this up here. Legrand case. So if anybody wants to let us know Legrand, what are you going to say?
Well, what kind of jurisdiction does the International Court have anywhere?
Yeah. But they're ruling against the U.S.
But they have no jurisdiction here, so that means squat.
Well, they might have. Well, I mean, like it might have been something like that we did in their country. I don't know.
We still don't have jurisdiction here, so it doesn't matter what they rule.
Okay. Well, 2003, U.S. National Do Not Call Registry was created by the Federal Trade Commission to combat unwanted telemarketing calls and enrolled almost 750,000 phone numbers on its first day. Now, I remember that, and I used to enroll in that all the time. And then later, it was discovered that somehow spammers, and all these, all these people who they gained access to the numbers on this Do Not Call registry, and then for a while they called exclusively just those numbers, and ultimately I don't think this registry exists anymore because it doesn't matter.
Didn't work.
Like, I mean, like if somebody from India calls here, what's stopping them?
Yeah.
I can block their number if they have another number, they can keep it going. What can I do through a law to make them stop internationally? I'm sure there's something, but I'm not sure what and how effective it can be, And then I have to actually find this person. And with VPNs, they could be spoofing being in Austria while they're all the way over in Botswana or whatever. I have no idea. Anyway, 2003, we got that one. 2005, Danielle Powter released the single Bad Day, the first song to sell 2 million digital copies in the U.S. Billboard Song of the Year in 2006. We also have AMD filed a broad antitrust complaint against Intel in federal district court, alleging abuse of monopoly powers and antitrust violations. 2007, Brazil's military police invaded the favelas of Complexo do Alemão, remembered as the Complexo do Alemão massacre. I wonder how many.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Bill Gates steps down as chairman of Microsoft to work full-time for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yeah. 2008, another Glastonbury Festival in Pilton, England opening here. Kings of Leon, Jay-Z, and the Verve headline. Other performers included Leonard Cohen, Neil Diamond, the Ting Tings, Sinead O'Connor, Gilbert O'Sullivan, Joan Baez, Jimmy Cliff, Susan Vega, and Crowded House. No longer on either source, so once again, all these Glastonbury things might not be chronologically accurate. 2009, the Tower of Hercules in northern Spain, the only preserved Roman lighthouse still in use, was inscribed as a World Heritage Site. Wow. Roman-era lighthouse. Whoa, look at that thing. It's still in use.
Well, that's really
still,
cool.
And look at that thing. And that's like from the ancient times, man. Wow. That's awesome. 2014, NHL Coyotes franchise changed geographic name from Phoenix to Arizona after change of ownership. And I know that the Bears, are changing hands or something. Have they moved yet?
I think next year they're going to play somewhere else. I'm not sure. I'm speaking out of turn here.
I have no idea. 2016, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down Texas law restricting abortion 5-3. 2017, Colombia's rebel group FARC officially ended armed existence after 52 years in ceremony with President Juan Manuel Santos and Macetes. 2017 as well, European Union fined Google record $2.7 billion for unfair competition practices. Mark Zuckerberg announced Facebook had reached 2 billion monthly users. PETA malware cyber attack affected organizations in more than 64 countries. By the way, going back about Google here, look into LifeLog and look into, who made LifeLog, what was it about, and specifically when LifeLog stopped and when Facebook started. The same day, same year, within a 24-hour period.
So you think they're one and the same?
Oh, absolutely, they are one and the same. Because Facebook ended up doing because LifeLog essentially. You remember that?
No.
I think that was the government. I'll just
look talking about it before.
I'll just look it up here really quick, so that way I'm not sounding like I'm full of shit here and making stuff up. LifeLog was a project of the Information Processing Techniques Office of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, of the U.S. Department of Defense, DoD. According to its bid solicitation pamphlet in 2003, it was to be an anthology-based subsystem that captures, stores, and makes accessible the flow of one person's experience and interactions with the world in order to support a broad spectrum of associates, assistants, and other system capabilities. The objective of the LifeLog concept was to be able to trace the threads of an individual's life in terms of events, states, and relationships, and it has the ability to take in all of the subject's experience, from phone numbers dialed and email messages viewed to every breath taken and a step made and place gone. Well, like Facebook.
And what year was that?
This LifeLog end right here. Actually, right, it might be here.
What? No, when was it started?
I'm trying to find that here.
Oh, okay.
Its bid solicitation pamphlet in 2003 is the earliest date I can see. I read that earlier. But it says right here, LifeLog program was canceled on February 4th, 2004, the same day Facebook was launched after criticism concerning the privacy implications of the system. So rather than the government using government stuff and everything, bluntly to gather all this information, instead they use Facebook. They made up all that story and everything that everybody thinks that Mark Zuckerberg got it from the college. All that's bullshit. This is a government program. Mark Zuckerberg is related to the Rothschilds in some way. He's like a third cousin or something. I don't know. But it basically it's a platform for people. Instead of like being asked to provide information, it welcomes them in. It's like, oh hey, well, tell your friends what movies you like. Tell your friends where you went to dinner tonight. So it's not instead of saying, hey, tell me where you went tonight. oh, tell your friends where you went tonight. It's more inviting. It's
Well,
a euphemistic thing. It brings you in.
the
You know?
biggest change for that is government can't do a lot of things that a private corporation can. So
According to the laws that old government sets.
yeah,
If
yes.
they change the laws, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yes.
So don't think that because the law says it, that they're not doing
I'm
it
just
some
saying
other
that's
way.
why they went private. That's all I'm saying.
No,
Discontinue the government one and go to a private corporation.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, no,
That's what
it's
I'm
just,
saying.
it's the same thing. They just switched how they do it.
Yes.
Like,
they
so
made it a private corporation.
yeah.
And circumvented the law.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna add this in the underbar as well here, really quick. Life log for anybody who wants to look more into that. Moving on to 2017, a PETA malware cyber attack affected organizations in more than 64 countries. Woo, that's wild. And why didn't I mark this one here? 2018, complex carbon-based molecules were found by the Cassini spacecraft on Saturn's moon Enceladus, previously found only on Earth and in meteorites, and research published in Nature. That's pretty substantial right there. 2018, French government introduced plan to bring back national service for 16-year-olds. That's kind of scary. Japanese spacecraft Hayabusa 2 arrived at diamond-shaped asteroid Ryugu. Sounds pretty cool. Diamond-shaped asteroid Ryugu. What does this asteroid look like? Like a diamond shape? Oh wow, look at that. That's
yeah.
that is a diamond shape. That's a cool looking asteroid. It looks more like a D20 or something, like one of those Dungeons and Dragons, dice.
Oh.
So, 2018, Malaysian police announced seizure of goods linked to former Prime Minister Najib Razak, worth $273 million, biggest in the country's history, including 567 handbags and 14 tiaras. Wow. President Salva Kiir of South Sudan and former Vice President Riek Machar South signed peace deal to end 4-year civil war. Nice. 2019, Chief Apple designer Johnny Ive, designer of the iMac and the iPhone, announced he is leaving Apple after 30 years. Huh. U.S. Supreme Court ruled the 2020 census cannot contain a question about citizenship in a 5-4 ruling. Why? The whole point of well, I mean, I guess
I disagree with that, but they're trying
actually,
to count people.
Well, also at the same time, if they don't mark it, then we know who's not a citizen, and we can find them, or we at least know how many, generally, maybe. So that's actually kind of a clever way to figure that out. Now that I think about it. 2019, U.S. Supreme Court ruled the Constitution did not prohibit partisan gerrymandering, allowing a ruling party to redraw electoral boundaries. Well, that's just going to cause chaos constantly. 2020, Ireland's coalition government appointed Michelle Martin as Prime Minister after 4 months of negotiations. Took a while, but they got there. Locust invasion labels Swarmageddon by the Times of India as it reached Delhi. Yikes. 2021, heat dome enveloped the Pacific Northwest, with Portland posting highest temperature since records began of 112 Fahrenheit.
Oh,
broken
man.
the next day. Yikes.
Whoa.
Wow, that's hot. Now we have the hottest temperature ever recorded in Canada, 46.6 Celsius or 116 Fahrenheit.
Jeez.
In Leeton, British Columbia, breaking record 2 days later with 49.6 Celsius. So another 3 Celsius, which, let's look this up here.
Almost 120. In fact, it would be plus.
C to F. 121.28. Wow. That's hot.
crazy.
That is outrageous.
That's crazy.
2022, 51 migrants died after being found inside an abandoned truck in San Antonio, Texas in extreme heat, with 16 people hospitalized. I remember that.
I do remember that
And,
too.
man, they weaponized that to go after Trump so bad, it was ridiculous. 2022, first rocket launch in Australia for 25 years, and NASA's first commercial space port outside the U.S. for suborbital rocket from Arnhem Space Center, Northern Territory. Russian missile strike in Ukrainian shopping center in Kremenchuk with 1,000 people inside, kills at least 13. Jeez. 2023, archaeologists in Roman city of Pompeii uncovered a pizza painting in a fresco from house next to a bakery, more likely flatbread as lacks essential ingredients, tomatoes and mozzarella. It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to actually do that, see what this looks like. Oh, wow. Look at that. So that's more of a flatbread.
Yeah.
Although it looks like there's stuff on it, so it might have been made with something, but wow. So potentially the very first depiction of pizza right there. Look at that.
Could be.
Yeah, because I can kind of see that looks like tomato sauce and that looks like a slice of mozzarella. So
yeah, looks like fresh stuff though, rather than all melted and cooked.
Well, this black, it looks like burnt cheese. You know, it looks like they kind of got it toasted on one side a little too much.
But it would all be cooked.
Yeah.
As it rises.
2023, Austrian artist Gustav Kilmet's last completed portrait, Dame Amit Fascher, or Lady with a Plan, sold for £85.3 million, $108.4 million in London, becoming the most expensive artwork sold at European auction. So this is Dame Amit Fascher. Let's see here. Gustav Klimt. Let's see if I can get this one. Okay. $108.4 million. Dude, the art industry is such an obvious racket, like, for money laundering. It needs to be stopped. 2023, French police officer shot dead a 17-year-old at a traffic stop in Paris, prompting a wave of violent protests across the country. That could possibly start a George Floyd-type scenario there. Ryan Seacrest announced as a new host of Wheel of Fortune to replace longtime host Pat Sajak in 2024. So, does he still do his Seacrest out thing?
I don't know.
2023, U.S. Supreme Court rejected the independent state legislator theory that would have given state legislators power to set up rules for federal elections and draw congressional maps. That sounds a little iffy right there. 2 years ago, 2024, first debate between presumptive U.S. presidential candidates Joe Biden and Donald Trump, hosted by CNN, raising fears about Brandon as he appeared to stumble over his words. Or stumble with his words. Well, he didn't appear to do so, he did.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Like,
that was his downfall.
Even when they admit it, they try to, like, cover shit up, man. Like, these leftists just have got to be stopped. 2025, Glastonbury Festival in Pilton, England opened. The 1975 Neil Young and Olivia Rodrigo headline. Other performers included Rod Stewart, The Script, Nile Rodgers and Chick, Charlie XCX, John Fogerty, and The Searchers. And last but not least, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 to limit lower courts' ability to issue nationwide injunctions in case involving executive order banning birthright citizenship. And, that shall conclude the show. We are just over the hour here, so I almost made it here.
Got close, did you?
Yeah, very close. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We have gotten through all 37 pages of our document today in just over an hour here. And these links will be in the underbar of the description below about 10 or so minutes from now. So, but yeah, we got through all this, guys. What's the code word? Like,
oh yeah.
Didn't we have a thing? Like,
yeah, we were gonna do it. We kind of blew it all up.
Yeah.
What did we just read there? How about Supreme Court?
Supreme Court, yeah. Put Supreme Court in the comments section. Let us know you're still watching here. Anyway, for those to Past Events Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time every day, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you viewer you. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!